trouble when you walked in. Oh my goodness, that song has been stuck in my head. But I love it, so it's okay to be stuck in my head. Hi guys, welcome to day 19, and I don't know what the end of this sentence is going to be. So today is Saturday, and I don't know what's going on with my hair. I apologize, it's driving me crazy. But it's Saturday, and I don't really care. It is what it is. I tried a new foundation today. I finally gave into it. I kept hearing about it, and I don't really know how I feel about Revlon foundations, because I tried the Revlon Color Stay, as everyone kept talking about how great it was, and I don't know if I got the wrong shade or not. It didn't look like it was super like different, but it kind of was like yellow. It was a weird color. So I might have just gotten the wrong shade, but I didn't like how it looked on my skin anyway. Like, it kind of looked caked on. It didn't go on smoothly. It didn't blend well. I don't know. Everyone kept hyping it up, and I tried it, and I wasn't really a fan. But I recently gave in to the Revlon Color Stay Whipped. Well, I just bought it yesterday, so that's just recent. And I got it in 150 Buff, and I'm really liking it. Like, I've only tried it one day so far, so I'll have to see it. I don't know if it's going to actually last 24 hours, but I love how it went on. It went on really smoothly. I'm pretty sure this is my color. Like, right now, I couldn't get the exact lighting, so it always looks like my face is really dark compared to my body, but it's just, I don't know, I think my face is a little darker naturally from like walking around in the sun. Since winter, I'm like usually completely covered by like a coat and stuff, so this is just naturally like even like more pale. But when I put it on this morning, it just completely blended perfectly, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit because it was really light, and I was like, I need to go tanning right now. But like, the more I left it on, it kind of like sunk in a little better, and it's a little darker, but not like completely noticeable. But it just went on so smoothly. And I really like the fact that it's whipped. It's like one of those foundations, and it just blended so nicely, and it feels so good. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like I have anything on, but my skin just feels so smooth. So yeah, I'm liking this so far. I just bought that yesterday. And then I also bought I think this is Maybelline? Yeah, Maybelline's Color Tattoo in the shade 35 Toughest Taupe. And I don't really know how I feel about this product, because if you can see the color, it's not a super dark color by any means. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be dark. And then when you open it up, it was the same color, but as soon as you started like tapping at it, it just ended up really dark. Like, it's a completely different shade, and it kind of goes on like clay kind of. It doesn't go on super smooth. When you blend it, it gets a little lighter, it gets a little closer to what it was, but it's still darker. It's crazy, because if you look at the shade in here, you can still see like around the edges that it looks like this color, but the middle's like just really dark. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to see if I like that or not, because I don't really wear eyeshadow much, just because, especially like when it's darker shades, because my eyes are so like just naturally dark. No matter what I do, they're always dark. So when I add like different colors to it, you can't really see the different colors because it just kind of all blends in. And unless I prime it really light and then go from there, but otherwise it kind of just looks like I have a bruised eye or something. If I can drop, like if I can hold something 99% of the time, I will drop it. Yeah, and I don't think, oh, I also got underwear at Target, but I don't think I have to show that. So last night I went out to the bars with my sister and I didn't really have a good time. I don't really like bars. Like, I like going with friends and just like in a more like relaxed atmosphere, but when the bars are just super crowded, especially you can tell when it's just packed with college students, when you can barely move through the bar, it's not fun for me. If I can't hear you next to me, I don't like it. I don't really feel comfortable like having to push my way through crowds, especially like when like people are drunk and it's bad enough they're all like stumbling around and you're trying to move this way and people are moving that way. And it's also kind of like part of being overweight, and my sister will squeeze through somebody, but like I'm looking at this like gap right here and I'm like, I'm not fitting through that and I don't want to shove into these people, so I'm trying to like ask politely if I can get around and people aren't moving, and it just really works on my nerves. I am not like a super, like anywhere, not just bars, but like anywhere it's like just super crowded, like the malls during the holidays, the grocery stores on the weekend. I'm just, it makes me feel like I'm not a people person because I just don't like crowds at all. So like I ended up leaving there and going to my like favorite bar that's usually not as crowded, and I usually know a lot of people, but of course nobody I knew was there. It was really weird because usually I know at least 2 or 3 people, but I just did not know the crowd at all. And so I kind of like just sat on a bar stool for a while trying to figure out what to do, because my sister was with her friends because they were all in town, and she just kind of like dragged me along and wanted me to come, even though I was already in pajamas and like literally taking my Bioderma to take off my eye makeup at the time, and she was begging me, so I ended up going. And I knew I wasn't going to have fun just because I don't know her friends, and I knew that they'd all be drinking and I'm just not a big drinker. I feel like I've done my time like getting drunk wise and stuff when I was younger, and I had my fun. Now that I'm 25, I have no interest in getting drunk. I have no interest waking up the next day and feeling sick all day. And I'm not even like a social drinker. Like, I don't mind having a beer every now and then, but even that for the past couple months is just not something I feel like doing. I don't know why. I just have no desire. It's not that I judge anyone that drinks. I don't care. I probably still will have a couple drinks if I ever start feeling like it again. But right now, I don't know. I think it's also like the calories. I can't like picture myself having to drink those calories. It's also kind of hard because it's not that I want to go out and get attention, like I've talked about this before, but when everybody you're with is getting attention from guys, and my sister always has some story about, she just meets like everybody, like she always meets a guy when she goes out, or, you know, like just, and I'm usually by myself like I was last night at the bar, just sitting there waiting while they either like go off or they're talking, and I hate feeling like third wheel. And I know I should be like more outgoing and talk to people, but I was getting that attention when I had lost a lot of weight, when I lost 80 pounds, and it all wasn't good attention, but because it was so new to me, I just kind of like took the attention from any guy, and just like guys that I should like now look at and shouldn't have given the time of day. Like, I know I'm worth so much more, and I was just young and it was so new, and I don't think you should ever settle. Like, no matter like how you're feeling and you like it feels like hopeless and you're like, maybe I won't find a guy, so I'm just gonna settle for whoever. Like, don't ever settle, because I've done it and you do not feel good at the end of it at all. So that's something I really need to work on. Because I used to want to lose weight, honestly, so I'd find a guy, like, because I never get attention. Like I look in the mirror. I mean, there are some days where I'm like, oh, But I think we all have those days. But I like look in the mirror and I'm like, I am beautiful. I know I am beautiful. And I don't need a guy to tell me that. Like, obviously, I'd like a guy, like, you know, to settle down. It was just the start of life, because I feel like I'm at that age now where I'm getting a lot of wedding invitations from people I went to school with. A lot of, like, people are having babies. And I want to start that part of my life too. But I just don't want to have to settle for some guy who isn't worth my attention. I don't feel like anybody should have to settle by any means, but and don't let what other guys think determine your self-worth. That's my little spiel on that. I don't know how I got from the bar to that, but that was my night. I ended up leaving a little early. Like, my sister stayed and I was just like went back and picked her up, but I just ended up going to Royal Farms, and I just kind of like ended up there because downtown is always really busy and I didn't feel like driving around the city. I didn't feel like staying in that parking garage, like paying more money for parking. So I kind of like drove around and ended up at Royal Farms, and I walked in there and like you could smell like their chicken, and they're just like all they're like bags of candy and chips and stuff, and I was just like, oh no. But I ended up getting a Diet Dr. Pepper, and I found Redbox, and I found Pitch Perfect, which I have been looking for. Like, most of the red boxes up here, like, either don't have it in yet or they just didn't have it. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like this, so I was gonna end up buying it anyway, but I kind of just wanted to test it out on Redbox first. So that was a win. That was my win of the night. Diet Dr. Pepper and Redbox. But yeah, that was my night. And today is Saturday, and I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I think I have to clean, because you can kind of see my room, like, where it looks clean, but around it, it's a mess. Like, I don't know, I have issues with putting stuff back. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm gonna work on that. And then I think I'm gonna hang out with some friends tonight. Definitely not going to the bar. Probably have them over, or I don't know, do something. I kind of feel like bowling. I know, like, some people think bowling's so nerdy, but I love bowling. I haven't been in a while. Perhaps that is what I suggest to my friends. I painted my nails. They're kind of a mess right now though, because I can't ever like just paint my nails right on the first shot, and because I wanted to film this video, I'll fix the other ones. But on this hand, or on this one, is the Essie, I think it's their Mint Candy Apple, and then the As Gold as It Gets on top of it by Essie, and then on this one is the Butter Please by Essie, and then the same As Gold as It Gets on top of it. I love doing like accent nails that are like different, but I kind of think I'm gonna switch it and do the Butter Please on all of them and the Mint Candy Apple on this one. Even though Mint Candy Apple, I love this green. This is like one of my absolute favorite greens. It's coming off like blue on the thing, but it's green, and mint green is my favorite color. Okay, so I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna end this now because I've rambled on for almost 15 minutes, and that is what I do best. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow.